Hi, I'm Dan Wakefield. I'm a graduate of School 80 and Shortridge High School. Kurt Vonnegut used to always ask at his graduation speeches for people to think of one teacher who lessons and made life and yourself more interesting and full of possibility. And I always think first, out of the many great teachers I had at School 80 and Shortridge High School, of Miss Jean Grubb, who was not only a journalism teacher, she was the advisor to the Shortridge Daily Echo, one of the two daily high school papers in the world at that time. And Kurt Vonnegut had written for it 10 years before I did. It was a great tradition. But I went to Miss Grubb with my first article, which I'd written as a freshman about the Indiana High School basketball tournament. It was kind of what they call a mood piece. And I remember she read it and looked up at me and said, "Did you write this?" And I said, "Yes, I did." And she believed me, and she really supported me and got me into writing for the Echo. Eventually I had my own sports column on Thursday, and my rival sports columnist was Dick Lugar, who became a senator. And Miss Grubb also, in her journalism class, we had to interview someone, and she said to me, "Who do you want to interview?" I said, "Oh, well, I want to interview Angelo Angelopoulos, who was my sports writer hero for the Indianapolis News." And so she got him to come up to Shortridge and sit down and spend time with me. That was great. And then she asked me if I'd like to be the Shortridge sports correspondent for the Indianapolis Star and News. And that way I met the sports writer Corky Lamb, and this resulted in my working one summer for the Star and really launched my career in journalism all through Miss Grubb. And I think that it was her belief more than anything, knowing that you had someone behind you who believed you could do whatever it was you wanted to do. And also, she was a lot of fun, and she and her assistant, Miss Doris Manuel, used to call me Scoop Jr. because I would try to get a lot of scoop stories, first written stories about something happening. And I'm also very appreciative there was very little or no censorship on the Shortridge Daily Echo. And in fact, Dick Lugar wrote a column that got him into trouble, but Miss Grubb didn't censor it. He wrote a column about seeing some boys on the basketball team smoking and drinking before a game. And he got called to the principal's office, and the principal said, "Don't you know that that issue is what goes to the school board every week?" But still, he was allowed to write that. And so she gave us that sense too, that we were free to write the truth as we saw it. So there were many gifts from Miss Grubb, and I will always appreciate her. I used to come back and visit her. She lived to be 103. And one of my classmates, Max Schumacher, who became president of the Indianapolis Indians, used to take her to a game every summer. And I came back and visited her when she was 101. She was completely, had all her wits about her. And my friend from Shortridge, Jerry Burton, and I went to Lily's Orchard, and we got her a sugar pie and a bottle of apple cider and sat around, and she even remembered some things that had happened with me in high school that I had forgot. So she had a great and very fulfilling life, and I'll always appreciate her.